Welcome to ENN Student News. We're your hosts, Preston Dobbs
and Lily Olson.
For our first story today, here is Jacob asking Mr. Cunningham questions about his job. Mr. Cunningham is our counselor here at Morningside STEM.
This is Jacob from ENN News, and I'm with Mr. Cunningham.
Hello.
I got 2 questions for you, all right, Mr. Cunningham?
Sounds good.
The first question is, what is your job?
My job is a counselor, and do you want to know what I do with that job, or?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of different things. I talk with kids if they're having some troubles. I go to classrooms and teach certain skills. I talk to parents on the phone. I talk to different agencies in town to help families out. That's some of the stuff I do.
And the second question is, do you like your job?
Yeah, I love it. I get to meet lots of different kids and families and form lots of good relationships. A lot of fun.
And that was Mr. Cunningham.
Morningside 5th graders participated in the Let's Go to College program at Morningside College. We interviewed Shelly Mullen. She is the person who invited us to go to Morningside College and set up the activities for us.
Okay. Hello, I am from ENN News, and I am here with Shelly Moland. And so, what is the program about, Shelly?
Well, the program is called Let's Go to College, and we have a group of students at Morningside College that all are interested in being teachers. So the more that they can learn about students, the more able they will be to help students when they become teachers. So we decided to invite all the 5th graders from your school over to our school on one day and to kind of hang out with college students and see what college is all about.
How did you start the program?
Well, we started the program with what's called a grant because it costs some money. So we needed some money to be able to feed you guys lunch, and we didn't have enough in our pockets to do that. So we went through the paperwork and we filled out a grant to the National Education Association. And they really liked the video that we made with the students in your school. We sent that video as part of our grant application. And if you remember, you were all sitting in the lunchroom, and so they thought that that was pretty cool that you had so much excitement in your school, and they said that they would give us the money to buy each of you lunch at Morningside College when you come. But they could not give us the money to get each of you a T-shirt, and we really wanted to get everybody that's going to be part of it a T-shirt that says Let's Go to College. So we tried to determine where we would get the money to do that, and we asked our president of our college, and he said he would chip in some money, and then our students worked very hard with fundraising to make sure that they could collect the other money needed for the T-shirts. So other than that, the program doesn't have a cost. We just had to pay for lunch, we had to pay for T-shirts, and then we had to get enough volunteers to work with you. And we also let the people know when we filled out the grant that we were going to have students at college write individual letters to every 5th grader. So each one of you, when you come to campus, you'll get a letter, but it's not just a form letter. Everybody's going to have a letter from a different college student. And then we'll use some time when you're on campus to talk about, what did the college students have to say in their letters, and what are some different things students do when they're in college.
How did you do or write the grant?
Well, the grant had to include a video as part of the grant. That was one of the mandatory things that they asked us to do. And then we had to have it in by a deadline. And then my my group. It's called the ISEA, Iowa Student Education Association. We all sat down together and we thought about what would be, if you were a fifth grader, what would you like to do when you're on campus? So we did a little brainstorming, and then we mapped it out in the grant as to what you're going to do. So when you come to campus, you're going to walk from your school to our school because it's not very far, and then we're going to break you up into groups. So you're going to have one group where you work with your letters and you work with some college students talking about college. Then you're going to have another group that takes a tour of the campus, and then another group at group time you'll be eating lunch on campus with the college students. So you're going to be in a big noisy cafeteria with college students. And then we're also going to have some team building activities where we'll be out, hopefully it'll be a nice day and we'll be outside doing some action. Then we'll walk back to school with you, and we had to map all of that out in the grant, and we had to explain why this might be a good opportunity for both the college students and for the fifth graders. So we had to explain in the grant that it's actually better for our kids, maybe even more than you, because we need our students who are going to be teachers to learn a lot about kids and about what kids like to do and what kids want to do in their future. So that's what we wrote in the grant. Sounds like the end of the interview then with the bell, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Anything else you need to ask?
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Ms. Pieper, Ms. Von Rack, and Ms. Davenport Kennedy are three very important people in our Morningside STEM building. They are resource room teachers. So here are Grace, Sean, and Brendan interviewing Ms. Pieper, Ms. Von Rack, and Ms. Davenport Kennedy. This is Sean with Mrs. Pieper. What is your job?
My job is teaching, and I teach reading and math and written language.
Oh, that sounds kind of hard.
It is hard some days, but it's fun.
How did you pick your job?
I picked my job because I knew I liked working with kids, and I liked the hours so that I could be home with my own children. And even though I have the summers off, I never do take the summers off, but that's another perk to being a teacher.
That sounds kind of fun.
It is fun.
How many years did you go to college to learn about this?
Well, I've gone to college a lot of years, but to get a certificate in teaching, you have to go 4 years, and I've actually gone about 6 years about 8 years, because I have a master's degree and I had a degree before in business.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. How many students do you have?
I have 22 plus students that I work with every day.
That's
and you're
a lot.
one of them, huh?
Yeah, that's a lot. What's your favorite part of your job?
Being with you kids. I really like the kids that, I like working with the kids that struggle a little bit or maybe need to take breaks, and I really enjoy being with kids and listening to them talk and making them work.
You're funny. What schools have you taught at?
Well, before Morningside became Washington, I taught at Washington Elementary. I have taught at Irving Elementary, and I have taught at Nodland Elementary, and I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This
I'm
is
glad
Sean
you're
and Miss
interested.
Pieper on ENN News.
This is Grace from ENN News, and I am interviewing Mrs. Davenport Kennedy. What is your job?
My job is I am a level 1 resource teacher.
How did you pick your job?
When I grew up as a child, I made friends with a little boy that was disabled, and I noticed that no one was working with him. He was just outside all day, and I decided at that point I wanted to do something about it.
How many years did you go to college to learn about this?
I have probably spent over my career about 8 years in college.
How many students do you have?
Currently, I have 26.
What's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is getting to meet all the awesome kids at Morningside.
What schools have you taught at?
Oh my goodness. I taught for several years in Nebraska, and I've taught many years of high school, West High, North High. I taught at Washington, which became Morningside. I also taught at Longfellow, which became Spalding Park.
This is Grace from ENN News. Thank you.
I am with
Mrs. Vondrack.
What is your job?
My job is a resource room teacher, which helps just kids that need extra help in reading and math and spelling.
How did you pick your job?
A long time ago, I thought I wanted to become a teacher, and I just wanted to help kids read better and do math better.
How many years did you go to college? What?
To learn.
To learn about this.
Well, I went to, I can also teach other grades, and I can also teach art. I went to college for probably, plus I have my master's, probably 8 years, plus classes here and there all over, many classes.
How many students do you have?
25.
What's your favorite part of your job?
When their hot read and cold read goals go up, and I see them so excited that they've learned and they've met their goals. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
What school have you taught at?
I taught at two schools in Missouri, in Kansas City, and then I taught at Hinton, which is just up the road from here. Then I taught at Whittier, and now I'm teaching here at Morningside Elementary. So I've taught at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools.
This is the ENN News.
The final story is the making of ENN News. Fatima interviewed Miss Vanderbilt about the making of ENN News.
Hi, I am interviewing Maritza on mass communication. How do you make the video? So, first we have to choose a topic, what we have to work on, like I did food for kids, and then we start interviewing the people who are related to that topic, and then we put it together on Camtasia Studio, and we get our final product. Is it easy to edit the videos? It's really challenging because you have to decide, there's a maximum of how long you're going to have your videos. So you have to decide which parts you have to cut out, which parts are the best and things. Were you happy that you were in mass communication? Yeah, I was really happy that I got mass communication because mass communication was so fun to do and it's just really entertaining to do. Do you have fun when you get to use all the fancy cameras? Yeah, it's really fun when you get to hold the cameras and interview people. It's really fun when you get to do that. That was Maritza with mass communication.
So I am interviewing Guy on mass communication. How do you make the videos?
Well, you use this, so you record on the camera and then you use this video editor made by East High called Camtasia to edit the video, and then our teacher produces it on YouTube in a whole video for 2 groups.
Is it easy to edit the videos?
It just depends how good you are at speaking. Like, if you are really good at speaking, there's not a lot of editing mistakes. And if you are really good at cameras, there's not a lot of camera mistakes.
Were you happy when you were in mass communication?
Yes, because like you gotta edit, and I wanted to be a news person for once, so I actually got to be one.
Do you have fun when you get to use all the fancy cameras?
It's just like using a simple camera. It's fun, yes, but it's once you get used to them, it's not as fun.
Okay, that was Guy with Mass Communications.
Do you enjoy helping kids on how to edit and make videos?
I do. I think it's really interesting to see how creative they can be and all of the new things that they come up with. It's really a neat thing to watch.
How was ENN News made?
Well, it started a couple of years ago. I had students interested in making their own student news show, and so I allowed them to do that. So this year when we moved into our extensions building, or our STEM building, and we started doing extensions, it only made sense that one of them would be for the kids to make their own news show. So that's kind of where the whole video production thing started.
Where did you buy the supplies?
Well, the school district has a lot of things already that they were able to just bring to our school that they had stored. But additionally, we were just lucky enough, I guess, to have some money in our budget where we could get cameras and iPods and all the equipment that kids need to make a really good show.
Cool. Do you enjoy being in mass communication?
I do. When I first went to college, right out of high school, my very first degree is in mass communications. So I used to have my own radio show on our college radio station. I worked on the school newspaper, all of those things. So yeah, it's just kind of neat to be able to share the information that I used to use all the time with kids that I teach now.
I'm Fatima, and that was mass communication with Miss Vanderbilt.
Thanks for watching ENN Student News.